So while I'm sharing this, let me just ask you something. If someone in Cameroon wanted to know what global agent could do for them, what would you say?
Well, like I've been saying, Global Agent is a startup. It started sometime in 2014. I started just doing normal normal agent work, right? Like
Yes.
connecting people to whatever thing you want to do. It was just so broad and vague at that time. But I succeeded in structuring Global Agent to the point where I focus on providing information systems, computerized
Yes.
information systems to any industry or firm or petty business. That is my goal.
Okay.
I want
Oh,
business to grow with the light of computer using information system in general. I've been teaching that to students a lot in my days in teaching. I emphasize on them on the importance of information system to everyday life, right? It's growth
yes.
itself, information system. So if you are a school, how can computer help you your school to grow? How can information system, hardware, software basically help your school to grow? If you're a church, how can information system help your church establishment to grow? If you are a small business, retailing, how can information system help your small business to grow, providing you hardware and software? If you are a government institution, okay, private, whatever institution you can think of, right? There's a role in which hardware and software can help you to grow in that society. Organize your activities to be um, having a standard procedure where everybody can connect with and have satisfaction of what you're doing. That is
Okay.
basically information system to everyday life.
I see. I see. That is good. So I hope people who need help will reach out to you, and then you'll be able to help them with whatever they need. Like I've
Exactly.
always said that helping one another should be the thing that strengthens all of us, right? We
Yeah.
must make sure that whatever we have, we are able, or we should be able to share with others. We should be able to help each other so that we collectively can achieve our goals.
Yeah, it's very important. That sharing part is very important because if you are the only one making it, you still haven't made it yet. So, but if you grow together, it's very important in a society.
Exactly, exactly. Yeah, so today we have six topics to talk about. I call them talking points. So I will just go through all of them so that people who are watching us can also be aware on the things we are going to be talking about today. So the first one is local Cameroonian lady in tears begs netizen to help pressure visa agent to reimburse 7 million she gave to the visa agent for a visa to UK. Basically, there was this lady in Cameroon. I found her video on Facebook, and she was
Mhm.
in tears. And she was saying that for the past 2 years now, the money she gave to somebody for a visa to the United Kingdom, the person was unable to get the visa for her. And to make matters even worse, the person has not refunded the money she gave to him, and the person sometimes will try to bully her and not respond to her messages. When I saw that, I was really sad because I, for one, don't like to see people, especially ladies, in tears, and I know how difficult things are in Cameroon. And for someone to be able to raise 7 million francs CFA and then give it to you after you promise them that you can get something done, and at the end of the day you were unable to get it done, then you cannot reimburse their money. That was really, to me, was heartbreaking, and I felt really bad about that. So I don't know. Before I even let you talk, I personally hear things like this all the time. I think in Cameroon, it's one of those stories that are very, very common. You hear them all over the place. But for some reason, the visa agents do not change, and they still just keep on maintaining their bad behaviors. So, what do you have to say about this?
I don't expect the visa agents to change. I don't expect them to change, right? It's greed. It's greed. And a lot of ignorance out there, believe me. There's a lot of ignorance. in as much as I'll blame the visa agent for doing wrong, condemn the wrong, but sometimes I wonder why people even fall to such mistakes in the first place. I wonder why. Yes. Before I'm in Thailand, before I came to Thailand, right? The person that was supposed to be is supposed to be my visa agent, for example. Okay. I studied that line for a couple of months. I was even part of the process. I saw people going as evidence, and then I was so confident in engaging in it. Right. So how do people do their research? You need to research. You don't just give that 7 million francs CFA. Do you know what 7 million francs CFA? I mean, if I have 7 million francs CFA, I will not travel. What am I going to do in UK for 7 million francs CFA? Why would I give somebody 7 million francs CFA to go to UK, right? To go start in the beginning to start making 7 million francs CFA. So it's bad decision anyway. But the problem is not who made the decision to travel to UK. I understand why you have to travel to UK. It's something in Africa. Traveling is good. It gives you experience, open your mind. It's educational, right? But why you get somebody 7 million francs CFA and you don't do the job? And you're not doing the job, why don't you give an explanation? Why don't you offer a payment plan? So what is happening is greed. It's greed. And there's so many of them in Africa. So many of these visa agents take advantage of people in Cameroon, Africa, and just extort their ignorance. People are so ignorant to the point that I do not understand. Sometimes you even cry on their behalf because you're seeing waste. 7 million francs CFA. Do you know what? If you can give 7 million francs CFA to someone to prepare you something, if I have to give somebody 7 million francs CFA to do me a document, that person must be Donald Trump telling me that you're coming to America. Yes. Donald Trump have to call me and tell me that, Guzi, you're coming to America, pay 7 million francs CFA. Do you know that people are paying to come to America for golden visa? Do you know that?
Yeah,
Paying
I
directly,
heard that.
you had golden visa, right? That's the type
Yeah.
of, yes, even though that's $5 million. Okay. But if I have to give somebody 7 million francs CFA to travel, right? The government have to be the one telling me, like the US government or the UK government, it has to be a government sponsored program. Not
That
give
is
money
very.
to some kingdom Cameroonian. Cameroonians are not, they look, there is nobody that has any direct connection with the embassy. There's nobody that have direct connection. Even ministers are being refused visas. Even ministers don't have legal right to get visas. They are rejecting ministers with visas every day. Even government officials that have important things to do out of the countries don't get visas. Who are you, a common Cameroonian? You give somebody 7 million. What guarantee do you have to give somebody 7 million francs CFA for a visa? 7 million francs CFA. With just 20% of your knowledge, you can turn 7 million francs CFA to 21 million in 2 years. We have the economy for that. You see what we're saying? Smartness, right?
Yeah.
How
Yeah.
smart are
Well,
you? So,
maybe the person who gave the money was thinking that she doesn't have enough ideas on how to multiply the
fair,
money. Sometimes,
fair
right?
enough.
Sometimes,
Fair
right? When I come across cases like this, right? I look at the grand scheme of things, right? I try to be empathetic, try to understand where that person might be coming from. Sometimes people are not so sure about themselves, they do not have that enough confidence that they can do it all by themselves. And, like we have all painted a rosy picture about Europe or about America, and everyone believes that as soon as you cross to the other side, then things automatically gets better, and so everyone just wanna go. So that's why sometimes when people give huge amount of money to visa agents for visa, I really do not blame them that much.
Yes, I still will not. But the money, excuse me, the money is missing. The money is not there. Even a delay alone is very uncomfortable, right? Now look at, it's almost 2 years. You don't have your money. You don't even have a payment plan. They are rejecting you. They don't even pick your call, and then they are threatening you on top of that. Is that what he said? Is it threat involved in that?
Yeah, he said that they were there when he tried to talk to them and say to them that she was gonna go on social media to cry so that people can come to her aid, and then the person she gave the money to was like, if you go on social media and say anything, that would be the end of it. I'm not going to reimburse your money back, because the person is also someone who is very popular, right? I think it goes by Mama Talaku. So she's
I
very
think
popular on social media. As a matter of fact, she does a lot of things on social media, like gives a lot of handouts and support and donations and stuff like that. So she's really loved by people on social media, right?
so.
But you know,
A thief is a thief. A fraud is a fraud. If you are law, yes. You so what? There are facts on the table. There are facts on the table, right? Let us visit the facts. It is facts that we're going to sort out who is wrong, who is right. Do you have 7 million francs CFA from this lady or this boy or whatever for traveling stuff? Yes, I do. I guess that's the case, right? Yes, I do have 7 million francs CFA. Were you supposed to provide visa for this person? Yes. What have you done so far? I pay the UK government for job. I pay the UK this for where are the receipts? Here are they. Okay. Do you have the visa? What was your agreement? Was it refund money or wait for another opportunity? There are facts on the table. Why we make behaving as if these things don't have a silver lining? There are facts on the table. Let us visit the facts. What was the agreement? What was their agreement? Do we know that the agreement? Maybe they're just running their mouth on social media. What was the agreement? Was social media there when you had your agreement? No. Okay, but if you have been fraud, explain to us. Let us get the facts. Let us even as we're talking about this now. I don't know the facts, so I need to even be careful what to say or give my suggestion about it because I don't know the facts. We need to study everything, right? Before pouring blame on somebody, we need to study everything. But she has been crying for long. It's easy to understand that you have given 7 million and there's no result. Clearly, we can see that, right? But what are the facts? What were the agreement? Let us study it out and then make a decision on that. They can even call the UK government. It's fraud. Yes, it's fraud. If there are receipts, are there receipts?
yeah,
That is why.
this guy, is it called CY? Is it called Opancho? Yeah, CY Opancho actually wanted to start a campaign against this in favor of the lady who was
Mhm.
crying. And according to CY Opancho, and what I saw on the internet was that CY wanted to go and stage a civil disobedience campaign in front of the British, as a consulate or embassy, I think
Mhm.
British High Commissioner in Yaoundé, right?
Yeah,
That
okay.
was a whole, yeah, that was a whole day I saw. But I think that people who knew Mama Talaku and the husband called them and talked to them and asked them to try to like resolve the issue. So when my whole issue with about it was that if you collected someone's money to do something, just do it. And if you
Yeah.
were unable to do it because of one circumstances or the other, then please
Mhm.
kindly refund the money back to them. That's just what I think.
That is our wish, you and I. That is our wish, right? So coming back to that situation, if there's proof, okay, facts, so because there's nobody that will look at this case and just say, I yes, say, and will run to the US embassy or UK embassy to go and lay a complaint. Because the UK people will still ask for proof. Nobody's they'll ask for proof, even if it's within their they will not even sort that, it's not even within their jurisdiction. I don't think so. They have to involve Cameroon government before even looking at that case. Probably they'll send you to the commissioner or whosoever within that jurisdiction, then they'll file an official complaint, not you going to the US embassy. Right? This There are procedures. The law is slow but it's steady. You need to follow that procedure so that everybody should be secured. Those procedures are very, very important. You cannot ignore them. Whether you are who, you cannot ignore them. They are facts. So what are the facts of this case? Bring it out. Lay a complaint officially. Don't come to social media and you lament or you cry. Yes, people will pity you because yeah, I'm sure it's a woman. People will pity you. You seek for affection. They'll give you that. They'll sympathize with you. And then what next? They'll still visit the facts. If the person involved, the accused or accuser, whatever, if the person involved admitted that okay, there was a mistake somewhere, there was an error somewhere, or maybe disappointment somewhere, and then there have to be an official agreement on how to do this. That is the right way. But I'm still saying that I don't know the facts of this thing, but I know there are agents out there that are very, very malicious, right? I know there are a lot of them. A lot of them. We have getting the complaints. So this may not be far from that, but we still need to see the facts and we talk about the facts and then we draw a line based on that.
That's great. That's great. Okay, I think that has been explained enough. And I just have to say this, like I've always said before, if you are going in for any visa arrangement or transaction, you must always bear in mind that there is a chance you won't get the visa, and there is a chance you might end up losing all what you've invested
Exactly.
into it. So
Exactly.
it's
Because
always advisable to put that at the front of your head or at the back of your head before getting involved in any of these visa transactions.
you know the language you usually use, right? So people usually come like, no, there's this sure line, 100%. Are you the consular? What do you mean by 100%? What do you mean? Even lottery is not 100%. They have to check your background. There's
Yeah,
still a
yeah,
chance
yeah.
you don't have to be Lord. Like there's nothing like 100%. So once you start seeing all those languages, it's a red flag. If you are educated enough, if you can think, if you can use your head, you can draw the line between the lie and the truth. They tell you 100%, sure line, visa sure. What you know, right? Payment before 7. Some people used to do block account. What happened to block account? Okay, you pay me 250 million. 2.5 million for this stuff, right? But we'll block the account. When I have my visa, I'll pay you. Everybody will like such a deal, right? Because my money is secure, and then you believe in what you're doing. Simple. I don't care whether it's student line, whatever. Block account is good. All right, for conference line, I don't have to pay for your conference or a short stay obligations like conference fee, flight, or whatever. You can take care of that, but I have to explain to you that this is a sacrifice you have to make for your visa. And then on top of that, it's not sure. It's not 100%. But I'll make sure you stand a chance of getting this visa so that you can achieve your dream of migrating to the country that you want or you wish.
Exactly.
You have to spell it out to every client to avoid any further humiliation or trouble. Because all these things are humiliation, calling you, threatening your family, this, that, your children are in depression. What's happening to mommy? Mommy is always on phone calls, calling left, right, center because of one visa issue. What's that? It doesn't make sense.
Doesn't make
It
sense at
doesn't.
all.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. So spell it out to everybody. Then I make my decision. I know if I'm spending 1 million francs, I'm ready to lose 1 million francs because it's not even sure in the first place. But I'm just trying because everybody have to
Exactly.
try to go. Some people will not go. That's the fact about it. Nobody is even government sponsored line are still not guaranteed visas. People should be wising up now. They're not
It's
still
true.
guaranteed visas. Government, no matter what, if they tell you that it's sure, no matter, it's still not sure. It's the consular that is making decision on visas.
That's for sure.
Simple.
That's true. That's true. So people should get this into
Exactly.
their head. But I
Well,
think sometimes I think that we are aware of this because we've traveled, we've gained some experiences, and so we know how all these things they do work. But an ordinary person in Cameroon might not necessarily know that the visa agent doesn't really have anything to do when it comes with visa approval or rejection, right? And there
sure,
is no such a thing as shoreline because everything is dependent on the consular officer, right?
sure.
Yeah, they might not know that. So, okay,
There's
that's
nothing,
enough. So,
there's no shoreline. Yeah.
yeah, let's move on to our second story for today.